here. There are 2 items on it, our minutes and our check register. Would anyone like to pull either of these items? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll move on to the general public hearing, consideration of approving the reorganized obligation payment schedule, or ROPS, for January 1st, 2013 to June 30th, 2013. Staff.
At the last successor agency meeting on August 9th, the successor agency approved the recognized obligation schedule for January 1st through June 30th. After we had received approval, we received new numbers from the Santa Cruz Auditor Controller's Office, which increased the amount that we would have available. As a result of the timing of the legislation, we had to bring this to the Oversight Board prior to meeting with the successor agency. So we modified the ROPS to extend the library payment to maximize the amount received. And in doing so, the legislation is unclear if we need to come back and get approval or not. So we're coming back tonight to say that we went ahead and adjusted that based on the additional funds that were received, which should be consistent with the conceptual cash management plan that we previously prepared.
And if I could add to that, since I'm your representative on the Oversight Board, the library payments are being greatly accelerated because we would like to see the RDA wrapped up prior to 2017, which was when our library payments would be complete. It looks more like, we might see enough money in there, or the final amount in there, by 2015, which means that we need to start scratching our head about our new library. Good news. Kirby.
Corollary to that, I note that we have $1.1 million in the bank account of whatever the name of this agency is. And I'm wondering at what point that money is either going to go to the Department of Finance in Sacramento, the successor agency, the Oversight Board, or maybe us.
Well, some of it comes to us. Some of it's used to pay off the debt. We have enough debt now that we are using it all to pay off the successor agency's debt, so that the state hasn't gotten it yet. Is that correct?
In fact, we have pretty much depleted the last funds. We paid off the $1 million note this last week for Chase. So pretty much it's functioning as a pass-through account. When we receive the funds coming in, we're paying the recognized obligations almost at this point.
We're basically paying off all the debts of the RDA, and if all goes well, they'll all be paid off by 2015. But the state has recognized the fact that we continue to pay rental assistance and our library fees, and also the assistance to the Capitola Mall for their redevelopment. Those were all agreed upon debts by the Department of Finance.
Got it. Thank you.
We are still in a dispute process with the Department of Finance regarding the obligation associated with the city and the agency's cooperative agreement. You'll recall that there was a $618,000 note. In addition, there is some question regarding some of the interest payments that were paid on several city agency loans right as the process to implement the legislation ending redevelopment was taking effect. So there are a few disputed points still, but at this point the mayor's summary is exactly correct in that effectively we're acting as a pass-through. We're taking in what used to be called tax increment and is now called RPTTF. Don't ask me to explain what the acronym stands for, and passing it on to these obligations. And what happened in this case was that effectively we get an estimate of what available RPTTF will be, and we had to come before your board to get approval of how much money we were going to have to spend. Well, we got an updated number afterwards. Staff updated, increasing the amount that we would put into the library obligation. It was approved by the Oversight Board. We're seeking a follow-up approval from your board, and in addition, we're asking for the authority to make these types of administrative changes in the future, just to increase the amounts to accelerate the payoffs of some of these, to maximize the availability of funds, but not to authorize staff to pay off anything that isn't scheduled for payoff in that period.
Is the library money kept in a separate fund?
By the county.
Yes,
That's
correct.
correct.
Yeah, we pay it to the county, and the county keeps it until it gets to its 2.6, I think.
I believe so.
Evidently, ultimately 2.6 million.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We now come to the adjournment of the successor agency meeting, and that concludes everything except for Stephanie.
I encourage everybody to go to the county fair. It is fabulous. Good attendance, lots of interesting booths, lots of interesting animals and things to do for all ages, so I encourage everyone to go. It ends Sunday evening, I think.
And some very interesting food. Oh my, there's nothing like fair food. Bring your bottle of Lipitor with you. And we'll say goodnight now, Capitola. And remember, if you aren't kind to each other, it's not Capitola. Have a good night.
You know what's really good there? Polish corn dogs.